Hey everyone. So it was a big week in the AI world. I'm going to pick out a couple stories that popped out to me and kind of weave them together. You know me, I'm not like when some headline comes out, I'm not going to rush to make some dumb video that just reads the headline to you or read some AI generated script about the headline, which seems to be what like 95% of AI TikTok is right now. um, so look, you're just going to get it raw, like unfiltered for me, and you're going to get some thoughts beyond just what what actually happened, right? So, and look, like this is just a weird time to be in right now. And I say that like I remember when I was in middle school, I'd be reading books about the Industrial Revolution and stuff, and these like era defining movements that happened and seemed so like exciting. I always used to think like what would it be like to have lived during these times of such like tumultuous change and societal disruption. Like I just couldn't imagine it. And even when I was in high school and even the beginning of college, you know, these were always just like things that happened in the past that I never like. I almost thought like history was over, you know. And this was like a common sort of conceit in like the 90s and early 2000s that like since in the post war like era had sort of settled in like relative peace and kind of like history was over, like the big things that defined history in the past, these big world wars and these big revolutions and huge technological change, like the introduction of electricity, that you know that was history, but that history was done. But history is so back. It's like we're seeing it not just on the geopolitical front, of course, but also like we are in the midst of very serious societal upheaval from technological disruption. This AI stuff is not to be sneezed at. Like we're really in it. So now, you know, I can look back and tell my middle school self, like, yeah, you will know what it's like to live through one of these periods. We are living through it, people. And I think brain rot can kind of like dull your sensitivity to the world around you, right? When you have brain rot, you're unable to really give sustained attention to anything. You're lost in algorithmic feeds. You've cognitively offloaded everything to AI, and there's not much brain power left to like actually take stock and take a step back and think about the world you are currently living in and the trajectory it's on. But really, I encourage you, just like kind of disentangle yourself from everything, take a walk, and sort of just like take stock of the world. Geez, I was supposed to make this video like talking about AI stuff, and all I've done is ramble about me as a middle schooler and stuff. Okay, so let's talk about the week really fast. So, you know, a couple things. Anthropic, of course, their latest model, Mythos. And so Mythos, this is a model that they are not releasing to the public because it is so extraordinarily good at hacking, at like finding bugs in all sorts of things, operating systems, software that's existed for, you know, 25 years that no people thought just like didn't really have any bugs left in it. Well, Mythos is finding those bugs. And so Anthropic is making the case, hey, we're not releasing this model to the public because we think it's actually dangerous. It would be dangerous for us right now to release this model to the public. And, you know, I'm kind of taking them at face value on this. Like Anthropic is a very safety-minded company. That said, it's also in their interest to be like kind of hyping up the power of their models. But look, I'm kind of taking them to some extent at their word on this. There's like a little bit of marketing around this, but I actually think they want a little bit more time to like dial in the safety of this model before they release it. But, you know, this is an astounding thing that now this company has this model that, if released into the world, probably could cause a lot of damage. So that, you know, again, this is like another example of like we are living through something here. The other thing about this model is they didn't really say too much about the economics of it, in terms of how much, you know, like the tokenomics of it, like how expensive it would be to, you know, run inference on this model. But I think there's a decent chance that some of the models coming out in the future will be actually so expensive that they will only be able to be like purchased or used by companies or people that already have a lot of capital. And there's a decent chance that in the economy overall moving forward, it's going to be the ones who benefit the most may very well be those who just already have a lot of money, because they'll be the companies and the people that can like leverage this grade of machine intelligence that is not accessible to everyone else. Now, I hope it doesn't end up that way. Okay, now on the other side of things, OpenAI put out a paper, this is about 5 or 6 days now. It was like industrial policy for the AI age, right? With the subtitle like putting people first or something, but people first policy or something. And I get why they're trying to do this, because let's face it, the AI companies right now, all of them have been terrible at painting a picture of like how AI is going to transform society for the better. They are failing to really paint a compelling picture of like why why they are rushing to improve this technology, and how it's going to make not just a big impact on our lives, but like a better have a good impact on our lives as humans and as like participants of a society. It's like, you know, the story is just bad. So it's no surprise that people are like up in arms against the data center build out, why people feel a sort of instinctual revulsion towards the technology in many ways. I get it. And the AI companies have done so little to like paint a counter narrative. So here comes OpenAI with this 12-page paper that's like, here's a bunch of ideas we think you should consider. But, you know, we don't have all the answers, but consider these ideas. And it's a crazy document. You really should read it. In the Brain Rot Research app, I link to it, and the agents talk about it. But like one of the policies they say is like, we think people need to shift towards more human-centered work. So we think people should kind of funnel towards like people care, child care, and elderly care. And, you know, those like human-centered jobs are going to be really important. And we need to make sure that those jobs pay well. And we need to make sure that, you know, like blah, blah, blah. And then they're also talking about efficiency subsidies, where as AI leads to productivity gains, then somehow, you know, the AI companies basically end up like subsidizing the existence of the people that they displace. And this is not a new idea. This is basically like that universal basic income wrapped up in some different words. But, you know, really it's the case. They're basically saying, okay, look, as the models get better at taking your job, we make sure that we can pay enough money for you to have a subsidized existence. And I gotta say, if this is their attempt at painting like a better picture, if this is their people first policy ideas out of the gate, boy, they have a lot of work to do, because I guarantee you most people reading this document, they're not gonna come away with warm and fuzzies about AI, okay? They're gonna come away with, wait, we're all gonna be taking care of old people and getting, and that work is gonna be like subsidized somehow by like AI companies. Just a bit of a mess. And they do say, look, we don't have all the answers, but maybe you'll come up with the answers. And if you've got some good ideas and you want to do research in this area, we'll pay you. So yeah, you know, look, like very strange times we're in. But I guess my final message here is like, don't lose sight of the fact that we are really in it. Don't think that because AI can't count the number of R's in the word strawberry that it's not going to be deeply, deeply transformative technology. I guess in other news, I promised you in January that I'd be putting out a series on how AI works. That is coming. It really is. I made the first video today. I'm actually really proud of it. I got to do a little editing and stuff. To the Brain Rot Research people, especially all those of you who contributed to the original prompt and started this, I know there are mixed feelings about, yeah, some people think I've kind of commandeered this channel, sort of taken it over for my own purposes and whatnot. I will have a call with, I'll have a call with any of you. You can even have it be the fellow who last submitted a video. Get me on a call. I'd be happy to try to work some stuff out with you. Over and out. Hope everyone has a great weekend.